you have to say start grading. So this one right here says create grading. Okay, there is options here, but it's pretty much always going to use this top one, create grading. So you just click on create grading and you just follow the instructions. Okay, so it says select the line. So I select the line and it wants to know which way we're grading. Are we grading inside or outside? If we were going to make a pond or something, right, we would grade inside and go down. But in this case, this is a building pad, it's above the ground, so we're saying grade to the outside. Okay, so I can left click over here. It's always going to ask you, do you want to apply it to the entire length? And in this class, every time we do it, it's always going to be for the entire length. You could do it, say, at a slope for this side and a different slope for this side and a different slope. You could have different slopes for the different sides, but we're going to always do one thing. Okay, and then it wants to know, again, it doesn't know if you're making a swimming pool, if you're making a mountain, it doesn't know which way you're going. So it's going to say, for the cut format, do you want to use slope or grade? So if the answer to that is grade, then it's going to be like 2%. It's going to be a percent grade, like 1/100, right? If it's slope, then it's going to be like 3 to 1. 3 horizontal, 1 down. Okay, so I'm going to say, in this case here, I think I'll do slope. So I'll pick slope, and I'll make it 3 to 1. I just have to type 3. Okay, and now for the fill format, again, it doesn't know if it's better fill. I'll pick slope again, and once again, I'll make it 3. Okay, and that's it. We just did it. Okay, so let's take a look at these two things. I'm going to pick this one and this one. Okay, so you see the difference in what happened here. Again, in this case here, we had a feature line here and a feature line here, and it just attaches the two together. That's all it's doing. This one we're going to fill the hole in a second, but this one graded down at 3 to 1. Okay, in this case here, the slope is going to be different all over the place, right? Because here, if the lines are closer together, it depends on the elevation of the surface, but the slopes will vary. Here, the slope is always 3 to 1. Okay, so that's, we have a hole here, so we want to fix that. So right here, if you drop this down, this right here says create infill. So let's just think of that just means fill the hole, okay? So again, this is going to be a common type of exercise on your assignment, on your tests. So again, don't forget this step, because then you just sort of use a mark for no reason. You just say create infill, and all I do is go into the area, the bounded hole right here, click it, and see that little diamond? That means I've added a surface. Okay, so now I'll just hit escape, and I'll just close this. I'll just select these two again. Okay, so there's the two surfaces. This one made by grading, this one made by feature lines. Now let's make sure we have these on automatic rebuild. So okay, so there's already a rebuild. So watch what happens if I'm going to grab the surface here, right click and go to display. We're going to send the surface to the back, so I can grab the feature line. Do the same thing here, display order, send it to the back. Okay, now here I'm going to grab this feature line and pull it like that. Okay, so you see what happened there? I redesigned the upper pad, but the bottom one is staying the same, it's fixed.
So how is it again?
Say again?
How you did it?
All I did is I sent the surfaces to the back so I'd have access to my feature line. And now I just grab this feature line, I want to just modify it, just to show you what happens. Okay, and I'll do the same thing with this one. This is going to grade. Okay, so this really hope demonstrates the difference. So this one is grading down at 3 to 1 from this feature line. No matter what I do to the feature line, it's always going to be the same. This one here, this line is fixed, right? So I'm going from here to here. No matter what I do with this top part, this line here is staying the same. Okay, so if you want to have a constant grade of 3 to 1, for instance, then this is going to be the way to do it. Okay, so let's just take a look at it. Okay, so let's do something else. I'm going to move these Okay, I go like this, watch what happens. Okay, so I moved this feature line from here to here, and all the grading came with it, right? Because the grading is related to this feature line. So whenever I move this, it goes with it. In this case here, it just made a big mess because it's trying to make a surface from this feature line to that feature line, right? They're not really connected or anything too meaningful. Okay, so you know, it depends what you want to do. If you want to have a constant, you know, if you want this line here to be fixed, like the edges of the property, well then I guess you would do it this way. But if you're going to be able to do grading where you can adjust the slope is what you want, then this is what you do. Okay, so that was just the first intro. So here I'm going to show you half the whole thing. Let me just open the surface properties. Okay, so this is an example we didn't do last week. Okay, so I made a surface here. You see all these triangles? So this is a corridor, and this is a bunch of lots, right, going around. And this red line here, I previously drew as the backyards. Okay, so I'm interested in this subdivision. Let me just get rid of this label. I'm trying to grade this street. Okay, just the houses or the lots around this street. So I don't really, and what I want to do is I want to go from the road up, say 20 feet at 1 foot or some percentage, and then I'm sloping down at another percentage. So I want them all the same. And then what I want to do is I want to cut it right here, because I don't care about anything else. And then once I've got these lots graded, then I'll just grade down from the backyards to the surface. Okay, so we'll go through this and you'll see how it goes. Okay, so I'm only interested in grading to the red line. So this feature line, what I want to do with this feature line is I want to put it onto the surface. Before I can put it on the surface, I have to project it onto the surface before I can attach it to the surface. Okay? So I'm going to go elevation editor, and this, I'm going to hit this, take lines from surface, and I want to project it onto the intern surface. Okay, and I'll say insert intermediate points. Okay, so what I'm saying to do is to take this red line and project it onto that intern surface. So when I hit this, it adds all the elevations now. This red feature line is on that surface. So now that it's on the surface, I can actually, it's at the elevations, the proper elevations for the surface, but I want to connect it to that surface. Okay, so again, to do that, all I have to do is select it, and same thing we did every time last time, say add to surface as breakline. So we're going to add this feature line to the surface. So when you see that happen, you're going to see these triangles change because it's going to become part of the surface. Okay, so I'll say add to surface, I want to add it to the intern surface, and I'll just do the same old supplementing factors 15 and 0.1. Okay, and we'll watch what happens to these triangles now. Okay, so now these triangles have been added to there. Okay, so this line is now part of that surface. Okay, so now that this is part of the surface, if I delete this feature line here, this part of the surface should disappear, and the only thing we'll have graded is the back to the backyards, which is what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to eliminate everything else. Okay, so let me just go and see if I can grab this feature line and hit delete, and you can see immediately now I've only got surface to the backyards. Okay, and we can just take a look. I'm just going to do one more thing with this intern surface. I'm going to add the corridor to it so it looks a little more interesting. So I'm just going to go edit, paste surface, and I'm going to paste this corridor, the datum surface. Okay, so let's take a look at this surface. Okay, I'm just trying to get the shading right. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. So from the corridor, it graded up like for 20 feet at a foot slope, and then right here, we can see it easier here, up here, and then it goes down at a certain percentage grade, and then we cut it off in the backyards. So that's what we have now. And now, if we take a look at this on the whole surface. Okay, so this thing here is our new surface. So you can see it's below the existing ground over here, and it's above the existing ground over here. So again, we've made this subdivision, we've graded it. Now we have to connect it to the existing ground, or else it's gonna